Welcome back to my channel. I'm gonna do one more video talking about the coronavirus COVID-19 situation. I was getting a lot of messages on Facebook and Instagram from friends and family, and also quite a few people I'd never met or spoken to before, who I suppose found my page and, you know, were looking for some comfort because where they live it's just beginning for them, right? So that's what we're gonna talk about today. Actually, before we start, I want a beer. How do you open a beer? Okay. I got to go to the store in person the other day, so I finally got to buy myself things at a store. I'm turning on my camera just so I can record this moment, even though I just woke up kind of, sort of, and I look like crap. But my favorite Korean restaurant reopened today, and I can order from them for the first time in like 2 months, and I'm so happy, and the sun is out and things are going back to normal. To get started, the first question that I got asked several times was for an update on the situation here. Are things getting better? What's post-quarantine lockdown like? Are people gathering in large numbers or is that banned? Are things getting better? Update from where you are. Yeah, okay. So to answer that question, let's look at the numbers. We had 0 cases. The last patient was released 2 days ago, but then they discovered another case from someone who came in from a different city, is what I heard. So our numbers are fluctuating right now between 0 and 1 for the last few days. Total for China though, the total confirmed cases accumulated, you know, recovered everything, is 81,237. Suspected current cases is 105. Current actual sick patients, 7,440. Recovered people, 70,547. And 3,250 have died from the virus. So it's obviously had a huge impact on China, but the way that everybody rallied and changed things, like the numbers decreased so quickly. My city had 500 and something, nearly 600 cases if I remember correctly, like a month ago, and now we're down to 101. And I'm sure like it's not going to go away. We're going to keep getting sick people off and on, but if it can get under control, yeah, we can go back to normal life, obviously. In terms of our personal situation, the compound that we live in was previously implementing a ticket system, so only one person per household could leave the gated community every other day, and you had to give in a ticket. We got like a set of tickets at the beginning of all this, so we don't have to use the ticket system anymore. Danny and I can leave at the same time. We don't need to sign out or anything like that. They just record your temperature when you come back into the gate. So there's always a security guard. Only one gate is operating right now. The other gates of the community are shut, so everybody is funneled in and out of the same gate. And yeah, so that's super exciting. I went for a walk yet today and yesterday outside with no really worries. Everybody's still sporting a mask. Restaurants and bars are slowly starting to reopen bit by bit. I think each district has sort of their own regulations on that, by what I've understood. For the first little while, they were allowed to open up and only do takeout. So I walked by a few places and they would have a table set up at front, and someone would man that table and you would just go up to it, not able to actually go in the door, place your order, and then wait around outside the establishment for a worker to bring your food that you've ordered, or a drink or whatever. So coffee shops were doing this, restaurants, things like that. China rallied so fast because it's a different system, and the government can do those things, right? I don't think that'll happen in Canada, so it's really up to people and their own like civic duty, like their desire to be a good citizen and a good person to other people, to do the right thing. And the right thing is to cancel your parties. You don't need, you know, to go to a bar, and most of them are going to close anyways. You know, things are going to shut down. So your best bet is just stay home, use this time to learn something new. And being stuck inside is it's not the end of, it's really not that bad, you know? I know that obviously for essential workers that's impossible, and really we all should be staying inside to protect those people as well, you know? Like, nurses and doctors are going to work for us, so we should all be staying home for them. Yeah. So the main thing that needs to happen is you and your roommates, partner, family, whatever, need to sit down and decide what protocols you're going to take. Danny and I had to do this in the beginning because when it first all like fell in our laps, because it was really sudden for us, whereas for most people in Canada and the United States, y'all had a heads up that this was gonna come your way. Like if you know anything about international travel and how, you know, how quickly people fly around the world, it was never gonna just stay contained in China. Any virus now spreads across the globe, right? You need to sit down and decide what are the things that we're gonna take care of. For us, we had to come to an agreement that things did get bad enough that we had to go outside and wear a mask and gloves and goggles every time we leave the house. I'm not saying that that's what you need to do for you and your family. Every city is dealing with a different severity of the issue. However, you should always bear in mind that whatever number is being reported, the actual number is definitely way higher. That's just like common sense and logic, right? So if you do have to go to the grocery store and stock up on stuff, which inevitably everybody will, please stop hoarding toilet paper though. They're recommending not to do masks and things like that over in the West. I'm not saying that I agree or disagree with that, but I would feel more comfortable with my mouth and nose covered. The person behind me or in front of me in line may not necessarily have the habit and realize the mistake they've made before they've coughed or sneezed openly, just, you know? So it's obviously not foolproof, but it's better than nothing to have just a scarf, you know, wrapped around my face or whatever. So that's something that I would do. Also, changing your clothes as soon as you get home, having like indoor-outdoor clothing, making sure you take your shoes off in a designated area so that the germs from the bottom of your shoes are not being dragged into your house. That's something that everybody over here does, but people back home just in and out, in and out, in and out with their shoes on all the time. Yeah, I find that a strange one. But especially if you have kids who are still playing on the floor and crawling and things like that, obviously you definitely don't want to be dragging in someone's spittle from the sidewalk into your kitchen floor, right? But the main thing is coming to an agreement with whoever you live with that you guys are going to be on the same page. And again, you don't have to be on the same page for the same reasons. One of you could be panicked because you're afraid of getting ill, afraid of getting family members ill. You think it's a big deal. The other person is following A, to support you and your mental health, you know, and B, to avoid the greater catastrophe that will happen for the economy and people's jobs and being locked in and things like that if this goes on too long, right? So just stay home for a while, cancel your plans, cancel your parties, don't travel anywhere, because you could spread it without knowing it, and that would be the worst thing if you were to get someone seriously ill whose body can't handle it. I just don't want to see Canada go through what China has gone through, what Italy's going through right now. Seriously, like the hospitals, you know, I've seen a dozen posts from nurses and doctors in Canada explaining that if enough people get really sick with this, even if they could recover, we just don't have the medical staff and the beds and the supplies to take care of that many people at once getting sick. I guess I'll just stop there. I mean, we could go on and on and on about this, but really please, from a person who's been stuck in China for 2 months to all of you over in Canada, the United States, please just stay home, distance yourself from other people, cancel your parties. You really have no way of knowing if you have it or not without a test. And Canada, for example, can't test everybody. The hotline is overwhelmed as it is with people calling requesting tests. So, yeah, I just don't want to see you guys go through this, you know? It was scary. And it wasn't easy, and there were a lot of sleepless nights over it, and everybody should be using what's already happened in China as an example. And everybody should look at the numbers, how quickly they decreased in China, as the example of how social distancing works. You know, staying away from people works. That's the only way to not spread this virus, right? So, yeah, I'll leave it there. Take care of each other, and again, if you have any questions or anything specific or something I forgot to answer, sort of went on a rant, but yeah, feel free to message on Instagram or leave a comment and all that good stuff. Have a good day and try not to read the news too much. Take care of yourself.